Venus shines brightly in the sky. It looks like a sparkling star, but this planet is a deadly trap. Temperatures are hotter than on Mercury, even though Mercury is closer to the Sun, over 480 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. The air is full of carbon dioxide. Thick clouds of sulfuric acid cover the sky. Anyone who breathes here would suffocate in seconds. Then there's the immense pressure, 90 times stronger than on Earth, like standing a kilometer deep underwater. No human could survive here. But why did Venus become this way? It may have once been Earth-like, with water and possibly even life. Today, it is the ultimate example of a runaway greenhouse effect. Despite all its dangers, Venus holds mysteries. Massive volcanoes, storms faster than jets, and maybe even traces of life high up in the clouds. Venus is a hell, but it could teach us a lot about Earth's future. Venus is wrapped in thick clouds. They are almost entirely made of carbon dioxide, the same gas responsible for the greenhouse effect on Earth. But on Venus, it exists in extreme amounts. Sunlight passes through the clouds. It heats the surface, but the heat cannot escape. Like in a giant oven, the heat builds up. That's why Venus is hotter than Mercury, even though Mercury is closer to the Sun. The clouds contain tiny droplets of sulfuric acid. They form a deadly rain. But before the drops reach the ground, they evaporate. The heat makes them disappear before they ever hit the surface. But there's another danger: pressure. It's 90 times higher than on Earth, like being almost 900 meters deep in the ocean. No spacesuit could withstand this. No unprotected machine would last long. Probes sent to Venus were crushed. Most only survived for a few minutes. Venus shows what happens when a planet spirals out of control. A world that may have once been different. But today, there is no escape from its deadly atmosphere. Venus is a world of fire and rock. Huge lava plains cover the surface. Where Earth has oceans, Venus has frozen rivers of magma. Volcanoes rise everywhere. Some are larger than any volcano on Earth. One of them, Mount Mons, is nearly 9 kilometers high, almost as tall as Mount Everest. But the biggest question is, are these volcanoes still active? For a long time, scientists thought Venus was a dead world, a surface shaped millions of years ago that never changed. But then came a big surprise. In 2023, researchers found something unexpected in satellite images. A crater had changed. An opening had grown larger. It looked like magma had pushed up from below. That means Venus is still alive. Volcanoes might still be erupting, constantly reshaping the surface. Maybe it's even happening right now while we watch. And if that's true, it could change how we see this planet forever. Venus is a fiery hell today, but it may have once been very different. Scientists suspect that there was once water on Venus, maybe even vast oceans. Billions of years ago, the Sun was weaker than it is today. Venus received less radiation. Temperatures might have been mild. The climate could have remained stable, a planet that may have once resembled Earth. But then, everything began to change. Venus started trapping heat. The greenhouse effect grew stronger. More and more water evaporated. Water vapor itself is a greenhouse gas. It intensified the warming even further. A vicious cycle began. Eventually, all the water disappeared. What remained was a dry, uninhabitable world. A dense atmosphere of carbon dioxide trapped the heat. Sulfuric acid clouds darkened the sky. No rain could fall anymore. Today, Venus is an extreme example of what an uncontrolled greenhouse effect can do. It shows how dramatically a planet can change. Earth's temperatures are also rising. Earth's climate is changing too. Our planet is not Venus yet, but its fate reminds us how fragile a world can be. Venus's surface is deadly. But high up in the clouds, things look different. There are regions with milder temperatures, with lower pressure, and in those clouds, something puzzling has been discovered. In 2020, scientists found traces of a rare gas in the atmosphere, phosphine. On Earth, this gas is produced by biological processes, by bacteria in swamps or in the stomachs of animals. But where does it come from on Venus? Could there be unknown chemical reactions? Or is there a chance that simple life exists in the clouds? So far, there's no clear answer. But new missions aim to find out. Future probes could dive into the thick clouds. They could take samples and analyze what's really happening there. Maybe the clouds of Venus hide a huge surprise, a discovery that could change our understanding of life in the universe. For a long time, Venus was overshadowed by Mars. But that is changing. In the coming years, NASA, ESA, and other space agencies plan to return. New probes will finally solve this planet's mysteries. One of the most important missions is Da Vinci Plus. It will dive through the dense atmosphere. Sensors will measure the gas composition. Cameras will capture images of the surface up close. Then there's Veritas. This probe will use radar to see beneath the thick clouds. It will create a high-resolution map of the surface, more detailed than anything before. Other ideas go even further. Some scientists dream of flying robots. They could float in the clouds for months, searching for unusual chemical traces. Venus is becoming a focus of research again. Maybe it will be our next great adventure after Mars. A journey into Earth's past or into a future we should avoid. Venus remains a mystery, a world of extremes. It is hot, toxic, and deadly. But that's exactly what makes it so fascinating for science. How did an Earth-like planet turn into a hell? Could there still be simple life in the clouds? And what can Venus teach us about Earth's future? New missions could provide answers. They could show how planets change and what that means for us. Maybe Venus will help us better protect our own climate. Space exploration faces great challenges, but with new technology, we might explore this alien world like never before. Which mission would you send first? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to discover more of our solar system's secrets, stay tuned. Science is always exciting.